next curve.
Hi everyone, this is Leonard Lee, Managing Director and Founder of Next Curve, and I'm here in Orlando, Florida for Honeywell's Honeywell Connect 2022, right?
That's right.
And I am joined here by Mr. David Trice, and I'm going to let you introduce yourself, but first off, I want to say it's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah.
And why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, great. Thank you, Leonard. First of all, great to meet you as well. Thanks for coming to our event. David Trice. I'm a General Manager and Chief Product Officer for Honeywell Connected Enterprise. My chief responsibility is I look after and create Honeywell Forge. And so a lot of what we'll be talking about here at the event are things that we're doing and products that we're releasing on Honeywell Forge. And so excited to share some of those details with you.
Yeah, and definitely looking forward to learning and absorbing a lot of the great stuff that you guys have been working on. And, I know that you guys started Forge in 2019. Is that correct?
Our first release was in 2019. Yeah.
And so if you can maybe share with our audience what Forge is, because I've seen all kinds of descriptions of it, right? And quite honestly, it's like, okay, what are we really talking about here?
Yeah. So, importantly, maybe I'll give you a little chronology and kind of bring you up to date on some of the rebranding that we're doing here as well. That's really germane to that question.
Okay.
We started building Forge early on. You know, when we first created HCE, there was a lot of thought that went into what they thought it should be early on, and a lot of that surrounded IoT. Let's digitize our assets and let's put visualizations on top of them.
Right.
And things of that nature. And pretty early on, we learned that that our customers really weren't professing that they had an IoT problem. They were trying to find ways to run their business better, right?
Right.
They see us as a controls company, and they know that we can run their business.
Right.
But they're looking to do it more efficiently with more data. And how do I do that? And so I was at the time I was in the connected buildings business, and I looked at things a little bit differently. I'd come from enterprise software.
Right.
And what I saw was silos of data everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. No two buildings are built the same. No two buildings have the same systems that are running it. The occupancy profile is incredibly different. And so how do you manage the performance of a portfolio of buildings with all of that siloed data?
Yeah.
So that was the problem statement that I saw. Well, so Forge emerged out of that. We decided that this was more about building applications on a common data model that allowed customers to run their buildings or their plants or their warehouses better, more so than connecting to assets so that I could see the rotational performance. Right. So Forge grew up becoming more of an application framework. So if you think about Salesforce. Yeah. Salesforce is built around a data model of the customer, right?
Right.
Forge is built around the data model of an OT operation, right? We've got assets, we've got workers, we've got processes. All of those are common, and so we've built a common model, and then we're building applications on top of that. So what you're seeing here at this event is the progress we've made at building applications on top of that. Again, similar to Salesforce, they didn't offer a platform for years.
Right.
We're kind of having the same focus with the applications that we're delivering because that's what adds value to our customers' business.
Okay, that's interesting. So in a lot of ways, what you guys are doing is taking what is typically the way that we think of IoT is you're building an informational system, right? It's something that, like you said, connects to assets. It takes telemetry off of it and measurements, and then it aggregates it. And then you're going to make some decisions based off of some sort of analytics that you've done.
Yeah, exactly.
And you guys are closing the loop because, like you said, you guys are traditionally known as a controls company. So you're just closing the loop on things. And that's really interesting because, there's all this talk about digital twins.
Yeah.
And you've already mentioned it. It's like you guys are actually taking things a little to the next level because even the way that they talk about digital twins, you're looking at an informational system and the frameworks for building that.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
but
That's right.
it's not necessarily about closing the loop.
So I'll give you a quick example.
Yeah.
The digital twin is necessary to understand the rotational performance of an asset.
Right.
Now, whether you visualize that as a three-dimensional model or not is really irrelevant. The digital twin is the operating model. The visualization of the digital twin helps you see where the problem lies, right? But understanding the rotational performance, the performance of a rotational asset, doesn't help you run your business better until you combine it with financial data so that you can understand the impact of a poorly performing asset on your business.
Right.
Well, that's what we're doing, right?
Okay.
We're bringing the digital twin into a business model, into a business process that allows businesses to better understand how am I performing, right? How is my compressor holding back the performance of my business, both from a plan level as well as a financial level, right? So that's the difference in Forge. It's an enterprise level system that is really and truly bringing intelligence to the operation.
Okay. Wow, that's pretty mind blowing. Actually, you've triggered a lot of thoughts in my head as you're describing Forge, and I'm really actually genuinely excited to find out more. And I'm sure we're going to have more opportunities to talk to each other. And
indeed.
And you know, hopefully we'll have some exchanges, and I'll be able to surface some juicy insights for my audience out here. The Next Curve audience. So, you know what? I want to thank you for spending a little bit of time with me here on day 0 of Honeywell, Honeywell Connect 2022. And, I'm sure we'll have a follow-up, and look forward to sharing some of my takes with you, my impressions of what you guys present.
I would love some feedback. I encourage you to participate in the kickoff tomorrow. My session in particular will talk a lot more and unpack some of these ideas a lot more. And I'm certain it will create some more questions in your mind.
Yeah,
so
no doubt about that. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks, Leonard.
So to our Next Curve audience, thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to www.next-curve.com, and we will see you next time. Well, you know what? That was a memorable experience.
Yeah, it was. It was.